Ancient Egypt was home to a complex and fascinating pantheon of deities. The gods and goddesses worshipped by the ancient Egyptians represented natural phenomena, animals, aspects of human nature, and abstract concepts. They were deeply woven into the culture and rituals of Egyptian society. This video presents the profiles of the 10 most significant ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses, exploring their attributes, areas of influence, notable myths, and roles in Egyptian religion. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already done so. Thank you and welcome to today's video. As a deity combining the attributes of Amun and Ra, Amun-ra embodied the pinnacle of Egyptian worship. Amun was the ancient god of Thebes who rose to become the king of the gods. Ra was the powerful sun god, the great solar creator deity whose cult center was Heliopolis. After the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt, Amun became identified with Ra as Amun-ra, the supreme god. Depicted as a man with a pharaoh's beard or a hawk-headed figure, Amun-ra gained universal prominence under the new kingdom. He was hailed as the king of the gods, protector of pharaohs, and the divine father to all. Along with his wife Mut and son Khonsu, he formed the prominent Theban triad. His key cult centers were the temples at Karnak and Luxor, where grand festivals were held in his honor. Osiris was the god of fertility, life, death, and resurrection. He was one of ancient Egypt's most prominent deities, as the firstborn son of the earth god Geb and sky goddess Nut. He was also the brother and husband of the goddess Isis and father of Horus. Osiris ruled as the first king of Egypt until he was murdered by his jealous brother Set. Through her magic, Isis resurrected Osiris to conceive an heir named Horus. Thereafter, Osiris became eternal king and judge of the underworld. His death and resurrection personified the cycle of seasons and agricultural renewal. The Passion of Osiris was ritually reenacted in festivals as a symbol of renewal. He was usually depicted in green or black, with a pharaoh-like beard to denote a rebirth and regeneration. Horus was known as the sky god, who personified kingship, and was strongly associated with the living pharaoh. He was the son of Osiris and Isis, who battled Set to avenge his father's murder. After defeating Set, Horus became king himself. In art, Horus was depicted as a falcon, or a man with a falcon head, wearing the double crown of Egypt to signify his authority. Several pharaohs took the name of Horus as part of their official title to emphasize their divine status as living gods. Horus embodied ideas of divine kingship as the earthly incarnation of power, and was strongly connected with the sun, moon, and sky. The immense reverence for the pharaoh in Egyptian culture was symbolized by the worship of Horus. As the devoted sister and wife of Osiris and mother of Horus, Isis was worshipped as the archetypal maternal goddess and protector of the dead. She was revered as the epitome of a loving wife and mother. Her healing powers were said to transcend death, such that she was able to resurrect her husband, Osiris, through magic. Isis was often depicted as a woman wearing a long sheath dress, with a hieroglyphic symbol of her name on her head. Sometimes she was represented with falcon wings. Isis' cult gained immense popularity across Egypt and beyond. She was the prototypical caring and astute goddess who protected her loved ones and venerated the dead. Usually depicted as a jackal, or a man with the head of a jackal, Anubis was the ancient Egyptian god of the dead and mummification. In the afterlife, Anubis was believed to protect souls as they made their way to the halls of Ma'at. He oversaw weighing the hearts of the dead against the feather of truth to judge their virtue in life. Consequently, Anubis gained importance as the gatekeeper of the underworld and guardian of the deceased. Anubis was the son of Nephthys and Osiris in some versions of the myths. He was also closely associated with embalming and preparing mummies for entombment, making him one of the central gods involved in the highly elaborate ancient Egyptian practices concerning death and the afterlife. Hathor was a multifaceted deity, often depicted as a cow or as a woman with bovine ears and horns on her head. She was revered as the goddess of motherhood, fertility, beauty, music, and joy. Hathor welcomed the dead into the next life. She helped guide souls as they transitioned to the afterlife. In this role, she was sometimes known as Mistress of the West or Lady of Heaven. Hathor was believed to manifest blessings and abundance for people. She was known for her calmness, benevolence, and maternal qualities. Devotees aspired to embody her joyful nature. She also had a destructive side as the Eye of Ra, capable of punishing wrongdoers. Hathor's cult center and main temple was at Dendera, where she was worshipped as a mother goddess. Thoth was revered as the ibis or baboon-headed god of wisdom, magic, knowledge, and writing. He was credited with inventing hieroglyphs and authoring mythological texts. As a lunar deity regulating cycles of time, Thoth symbolized the precise order of the universe and nature. He helped form the calendar and regulated celestial movements. Due to this intimate knowledge, Thoth became the patron of sciences like arithmetic, geometry, and astronomy. His cult center at Hermopolis was an important site of learning and wisdom. Set was originally worshipped as the god of deserts, storms, and chaos. He embodied the necessary but sometimes dangerous forces of nature and destruction. Set was seen as a powerful deity who needed to be appeased to prevent calamity. His cult center was at Nupt, a town near Asyut in Upper Egypt. In later myths, after killing his brother Osiris, Set became known as a sinister god representing evil and disorder. But he still retained some popularity with working-class Egyptians for his protective powers. Set was typically depicted as an anthropomorphic creature with an elongated head resembling an aardvark or jackal. After being defeated by Horus, Set was demonized but never completely wiped out. The fierce lioness-headed goddess Sekhmet represented the destructive aspects of Ra's power, serving as the instrument of divine wrath. She was believed to spread plagues, diseases, drought, and other misfortunes as punishment for sins against the cosmic order. Sekhmet was the consort of Ptah and mother of Nefertum in the Memphis Triad. She was also closely associated with war and healers. Though feared for her wrath, devotees also prayed to Sekhmet for protection and retribution against one's enemies. Overall, she symbolized the dual edges of righteous anger, its capacity to defend order, but also overwhelm it. The hot winds of the Sahara Desert were believed to be Sekhmet's fiery breath. Her temple was located in Memphis. Bastet, often depicted as a female with the head of a cat, was the goddess of home, fertility, protection, and good health. She protected against evil spirits and played a role in ancient Egyptian households. Bastet was the daughter of Ra, sister of Sekhmet, the wife of Ptah and the mother of Myhos. She was worshipped as a deity, most commonly in Lower Egypt. She was often called the Lady of the East, goddess of the rising sun, and the sacred and all-seeing Eye of Ra. The gods and goddesses worshipped for millennia by the ancient Egyptians represented the defining aspects of their civilization: seasonal cycles, the Nile, kingship, death, and resurrection. These deities were deeply woven into the rituals, festivals, architecture, and art of Egyptian daily life. From household shrines to colossal temples, the gods were omnipresent as symbols of cosmic order and balance. They remain an integral part of Egypt's magnificent cultural legacy and mythology.